Hey everybody, it's Coffee with Mick, ranking on its discussion about whatever I want to talk about in the morning. Sensory tremens. I'm finishing up Star Trek Voyager. I'm on season 5 of 7. And in one episode, Commander Chakotay has a case of what is called sensory tremens triggered upon him when, they go to this particular spot of space called chaotic space. And the moment I heard that, I looked it up because that's not a mental disorder that exists. The only thing close to it was delusional tremens, and that's that exists as a withdrawal from alcohol. And this is Starfleet, and no one drinks real alcohol anymore. They drink synthahol for the most part. Even if they did have real alcohol, they would probably recycle it as fuel, you know? Yeah, because it's Voyager and everything's terrible. Also, the episode before that was the one with, the silver blood duplicates who thought they were Voyager, and it was very sad. Ugh. Yeah. But yeah, back to sensory tremens. I feel they kind of... it's slightly better than how they handled Chakotay's, tribal history and being, a... related to aliens, but I'm confused why they didn't just go with regular old schizophrenia or something, or bipolar disorder, or any myriad of mental conditions or disorders that cause hallucinations. Why make one up? Why make one up? Is sensory tremens just what they're calling schizophrenia in the future? It's weird. Yeah. It's weird how it's just, you look at these shows and a lot of the episodes are good and hold up, but then you see a scene that just really shows how dated it is. Hey. The less said about the augments in Deep Space Nine, the better. Oh boy. I like the second episode with them, where it's they show them contributing to the Dominion effort and everything, showing that they're more than just over impulsive weirdos. And then Chrysalis, where they cured Serena of what was causing her to be catatonic, and then she just somehow adapts to being just as stable as Julian. And then Julian probably just starts to romance her, despite the fact that she's essentially been a prisoner of her own body for literally all her life. And yeah, and also how they kind of treat her as better than the other members of the Jack Pack, because her condition was treatable and she could be more stable, while the other three are still impulsive weirdos and just forced to stay at the Institute and never contribute to society. Basically saying that you have a mental disorder that can be treated, you are better than people with mental disorders that cannot be treated. Yeah. They really didn't think about that, did they? In my headcanon of headcanons, the Jack Pack end up gaining rights shortly after the Dominion War, and granted, Jack himself will need a handler for most of his life, because he's a violent little weirdo, but, Lauren and Patrick, Patrick's a little emotional, and Lauren was just a little horny. He can manage that. Then going back to the original Augment episode with Julian, where it's him being an Augment is clearly it's him what he was before he was an Augment, where he had trouble discerning shapes at 6 years old and everything, and objects, is clearly a metaphor for autism or other mental disorders. And the only way that his parents thought to help fix this was by having him go through a genetic augmentation process to, like, hyperize his, like, freaking intellect and everything. I mean, on the one hand, it means Julian's canonically neurodivergent, so that's cool, but I mean, this is the space future. You probably had other options to educate him. And as proven by Mirror Bashir, like, I don't think he went through the augmentation process either. Like, where would it be? Like, the worst that would happen would be is he'd be a little squirrely. You know? Ugh. So yeah, in closing, Star Trek and mental disorders. It is an awkward pile of awkward piles. All we have to do is learn from it and hope to do better. I hope you do better, Star Trek. And as always, I hope you have a morning.